5 to 4 on. They're now asking for 6 to 5 about Islington, though many bookmakers still have got 5 to 4 on the board. The main reason for this is the support for Alexander 3D, who opened as 6 to 1, is into 9 to 2 and 4 to 1 with some bookmakers. Is 5 to 1, touching 11 to 2 now this half glance, with Fraulein 7 to 1 and 13 to 2 and 10 to 1 against Spinett.
And they jump away then for the Tattersalls Musidora Stakes. And one or two patrons in the grandstand rather thought that might have been Islington causing trouble. They are in similar colours, but Islington in the yellow cap. Kieran Fallon on the favourite in second place at the moment. Half Glance as the early pace setter from Islington. Change of tactics on Half Glance here today. Islington in second, then Alexander 3D. Followed in the spotted jacket, yellow and black spots, Fraulein, and at the back is Spinett, who gave the trouble before the stalls. So covering the first 2.5 furlongs or so inside the final 7.5 furlongs, and it's Half Glance and Richard Quinn making the running here. Putting a few form lines to the test here, Half Glance, who was third in the Pretty Polly Stakes at Newmarket just over a week ago. Alexander 3D in second. Islington, the Oaks favourite, back in third on the inside of Fraulein, and finally Spinett at the rear. Passing the 6 furlong marker, and it's Half Glance who continues to cut out a reasonable gallop here. Fears it might be another falsely run trial, but she seems to be striding on. A length and a half to Alexander 3D in second. Islington parked on the inside then of Fraulein third and fourth, and finally Spinett. Turning up the straight then, and Half Glance showing a bit more zest perhaps today so far as they run inside the final half mile, but the others are closing now. Alexander 3D, Islington squeezing out between Half Glance and Alexander 3D. On the outside is Fraulein. Islington has picked up pretty impressively to go on there inside the final 3 furlongs, as swept by Half Glance. In front, a long way from home, Fraulein is chasing on the outside. Spinett is beginning to run on the wide outside, the once raced Jeremy Nazida filly, as they run inside the final furlong and a half. They're being blown away by the wind, and it's still Islington in front from Alexander 3D. Spinett charging on the outside inside the final furlong. Islington in workmanlike fashion now. Spinett is beginning to close on the outside. Islington kept going by Kieran Fallon from Spinett, and Islington will win the Musidora Stakes from Spinett in second. In third, Alexander 3D. For fourth between Fraulein and Half Glance. Islington, the 6 to 5 on favourite and winner of this Oaks trial, the Group 3 Tattersalls Musidora Stakes.
Shiny, the pacemaker. Starborn was a little bit slow, and now gets through on the inside to try and do a job. So it's Starborn going on here in the early stages. Starborn going on from Shiny, and Tarshy just behind them. Islington on the inside settles fourth. Further back in the field then, on the outside of runners, is Golden Silker, followed by Premier Prize as they continually climb uphill. Red Rioja not that far away either. And further back then is Sulk. Right out the back is Fallen Star as they continue this climb uphill, and Starborn working hard by a length and a half to Shiny, and Tarshy tucked in behind them. They're followed then by Red Rioja, is travelling on the outside of Islington. Further back is Sulk, and then follows next is Premier Prize the inside. Further back in the field, Quarter Moon is giving them a very big start. Right out the back behind Fallen Star and Golden Silker, the only one behind the favourite as they start to run downhill. It's Starborn from Shiny, and just in behind them in third is Tarshy. Further back in the field then in fourth is Islington from Premier Prize, and then Red Rioja. Back in the field then is Fallen Star from Sulk, and Quarter Moon is the best part of about 8 or 10 lengths off the pace, and taken to the inside now by Canaan as they race up inside the 3, and it's Starborn the leader from Shiny. Here comes Tarshy on the outside, and Islington now putting in the big strides. Behind them is Premier Prize, and further back is Fallen Star. Quarter Moon's in behind horses. 2 furlongs left to travel. Islington storms into the lead now, goes 4 or 5 lengths clear of Starborn. I reckon it's all over. Islington about 5-6 in front of Fallen Star. Quarter Moon struggling in behind them. She'll run on for a place though, but Islington has got this one. Islington by 5-6 lengths in the wine stock colours again. A Group 1 victory in the Nassau. Pulled up at the line. Islington wins it by 4 or 5 lengths. Sulker's second, Quarter Moon third. Further back then is Fallen Star from Starborn, then Golden Silker. Tarshy behind them, Premier Prize. Red Rioja second last. Shiny last to finish. She has her moment of glory. After hating the ground in the Oaks at Epsom, Islington has stormed home with the Vodafone Nassau Stakes at Goodwood. Number 5, Islington, owned by the executors of the estate of the late Lord Weinstock. There she is, just crossing the line for Kieran Fallon. A good 4 or 5 lengths clear of Sulk in second. Quarter Moon gets another placing, third, but she was never travelling like a winner. Fourth is Fallen Star. Behind them, we see Starborn, did a good job. Taft Shears further back, then Golden Silka. They're followed by Premier Prize. A gap then to Red Rioja, who's settled about 5th and then got very weary though.
It's only 11 days ago that Lord Weinstock, former head of the GEC and such a huge figure in racing, died. And in the last 7 days, his colours have been carried to victory in Group 1 races by Golan in the King George last Saturday at Ascot, and today by Islington, a filly he described before the Oaks as the perfect specimen of a racehorse. She has rewarded his belief in here. Just such a shame he couldn't be around to see it, Willie.
Yes, it's a big shame, but it's another Group 1 winner for the colours, the very successful colours. And
Kieran rode her so positively, didn't he?
Yes, but I thought the race was run a little bit slower than Mick Cannan would have liked. The pacemaker Starborn, for me, didn't go quite fast enough, or couldn't go any faster. He was nigging away at him, but it was a race that seemed to start when they started coming down the hill with about 4 to run. And at the bottom of the hill, Kieran said, "Hey, let's go. I've got plenty of horse here. Let's go and get this race won." And he quickened up and he really went fast. And I would say that Quarter Moon, who ran on a lot, she's a tricky ride. You have to get her in behind.
Lined up. And the way they jump then for the Aston Upthorpe Yorkshire Oaks. Frankie's already in a strong position on Kasia, but Starborn, who made the running yesterday in the Juddmonte International, in different colours today, the yellow jacket, Starborn leads, and it looks at a brisker pace than she set yesterday under Shane Kelly. Kasia's about 3 or 4 lengths down in second place. Islington goes through into third place under Kieran Fallon in the light blue jacket, and then follows Sulk in the blue cap in 4th, followed next by the German filly Guadalupe on the outside of Quarter Moon, as ever holding her head rather awkwardly in the early stages and not looking an easy ride for Mick Cannan. Back in the pack is Zanzibar, and then Lady's Secret. Well out the back are Love Everlasting and Irresistible Jewel and Mellow Park, who's 2 from the end. They're well strung out and they've rather let the pacemaker go, Starborn. She probably didn't go quick enough yesterday. Has she gone too fast today? Kasia leads the pack in second place, from Islington in third, then Sulk. But there's our leader, Starborn, running away as they continue now towards the last 6 furlongs of this Yorkshire Oaks and beginning to swing left-handed. Starborn by 10 lengths to Kasia in second. Islington is third, then Sulk, followed by Quarter Moon in the white sleeves on the inside of Guadalupe, and then Zanzibar and Lady's Secret and Irresistible Jewel, the leader, coming back to the pack now. Mellow Park still out the back, and Love Everlasting is struggling to keep up in last place. They head for the last half mile then, as they turn into the straight here on the Knavesmire, and it's Starborn that leads to Kasia, the 1,000 guineas and Oaks winner, in second place in the blue of Godolphin, stalked by Islington, who moves alongside Kasia now to dispute second place. Then Sulk behind these, Guadalupe unleashing a run on the outside, and now Starborn is swallowed up and gulped down by Kasia and Islington, and they go head to head with 2.5 furlongs left to go, and Islington has got her nose in front now, and she accelerates past Kasia, but she's going into uncharted territory, and she's struck early under Kieran Fallon. This is as further than she's ever gone before. Islington, he picks up the baton now. In second place, Kasia is battling away, but is the ground too quick for her? Third is Guadalupe, then Sulk. Irresistible Jewel stays on from the rear, but Islington has a 4-5 length lead well inside the final furlong, and this filly has really come good, and she looks special today. Islington beats Guadalupe. Sulk in third, Kasia only 4th from Irresistible Jewel, and then Quarter Moon, Love Everlasting back to Mellow Park. She struck early in the straight. Kieran Fallon clearly had no fears about this daughter of Sadler's Wells getting the 1.5 miles. The furthest she'd gone before was 1.5 miles here. Effectively anyway, she was well beaten, of course, in the Oaks over the trip. She stayed it really well. saw it out in tremendous fashion and actually pulled clear of some smart rivals. The questions will be asked, though, whether Kasia has run a race here today. She wasn't able to hold on to second place. She looked rather laboured in the closing stages on ground that might have been too quick for her. But take nothing away from this filly, she looked extra smart here.
Well, we're going to wait. We're going to wait until they turn. They're going to walk up towards the clubhouse there in front of this gorgeous Arlington Park grandstand, arguably the prettiest racing structure in the entire world. We have a field of 12 here, 12 fillies and mares. And number 1 is Risk Averse. Pat Kelly saddled her to win Keeneland's Queen Elizabeth Stakes for owner Peter Schiff, whose late father John had horses with his father, Hall of Fame trainer T.J. Kelly. Real family affair. Here's Islington. She was supplemented for 90,000. This British filly won the Yorkshire Oaks and then finished 5th, beaten only 2 lengths after briefly leading in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, the toughest race in the world. Another supplementary filly from overseas is a 3-year-old Turtle Bow. This French filly was an excellent second in the Flower Bowl last month and should take to this turf course today. It has a bit of a cut in it, as the Europeans say. And here is that lightly raced filly we spoke of, Dublino, the 3-year-old, has finished first in both of her starts for her new trainer Laura de Seroux after being imported, but she was disqualified in one. And if those racing silks look familiar, they belong to Michael Klein, son of Eugene Klein, who raced Winning Colors and Lady's Secret. Here's Banks Hill. We talked about her in the paddock. Last year's winner, back to defend her title, but now she has a new trainer and a new jockey, Bobby Franklin and Jerry Bailey. She doesn't really like the soft. It's been documented for a long time, but we'll find out for sure today. There was some speculation that she might be scratched because the going was fairly deep for her liking. And here is Golden Apples. She won the Beverly D and the Yellow Ribbon for owner Gary Tanaka, who believes in buying proven quality runners from Europe and bypassing the yearling sales, and he's been very successful at it indeed. And here's Gossamer, full sister to Barathea, who won the mile in 1994, also for trainer Luca Camani. And when her owner Gerald Lee died this summer after a long illness, racing truly lost a great friend. Here's Zenda, top-class British 3-year-old filly, was unlucky to lose in her only American start down at Keeneland. She's trained by John Gosden, who won the inaugural Breeders' Cup Mile with the great filly Royal Heroine. Zenda was seen sporting earmuffs here training this week, but doesn't seem to be wearing them right now. Seems very settled, in fact. Here's number 9, Chopinina. The Canadian filly had been a real problem child in the morning. She didn't want to train, she sulked, she kicked, she carried on. But her new trainer, Alex Fair, was very patient with her and has found a key to training her, and has now coaxed 2 wins and a second out of her for owner Steve Savro of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's Owlsley, and if those yellow and gray silks look familiar to you, they belong to Arthur Hancock and were carried by Sunday Silence in his dramatic classic victory over Easy Goer in 1989. And here is Starine. This is the house horse in Bobby Frankel's barn. He purchased her for his own interest in France last year and turned her into a Grade 1 winner. She wasn't at her best this spring, but she's really come around lately, and a little bit of a sleeper in here at 13-1. And last but not least, from the Godolphin operation is Kasia, winner of the English Oaks and the Flower Bowl, but her season has really been compromised by foot problems, and she popped another abscess last week and missed some training time. Be tough for this.
Dispatch the field for their mile and a quarter. And they're off. Gossamer breaking well. Kasia veered out soon after the start. Down toward the inside, Turtle Bow has some early speed, and Chopinina emerges from mid-pack. So it's Kasia and Chopinina to match strides for the early lead. Kasia, the front runner now. Chopinina has been backed off and will concede the early lead to Kasia. 2.5 lengths back, and Turtle Bow is running along in third. Then the gray filly, Starring, is fourth. Defending champion Banks Hill has been maneuvered to the inside early. She's racing in 5th position now. Gossamer broke well, but she's been taken back into 6th. Down on the inside of Dublino 7th. Owlsley 3 wide 8th. English filly Islington drafting in behind horses in the European manner. She's now 9th. And down toward the inside is the late running Risk Averse. Golden Apples has only 1 horse beaten, and that is long shot Zenda. The opening quarter went in a sensible 24 2/5 seconds. The half was 49 seconds flat, and Kasia is loose on an easy lead here. Kasia out there by 2. And Chopinina, Emil Ramsani still stalking, conceding that lead to Kazi, who's stretching it out to 3 lengths now. And then it's Turtlebow racing in 3rd. Starina's 4th. Banks Hill has maneuvered to the outside for clear running in 5th position now with about a half mile to go. And then it's Gossamer moving sweetly down toward the inside in 6th. Islington is 7th, and she's asked for a bit more. Dublino is still about 9 or 10 lengths from the leader, and the leader has been unopposed. Kazia through 3/4 in 1:12 and 2. Chopinina still running in 2nd. Then it's Turtlebow toward the inside. They've been 1, 2, 3 all the way around the racetrack, and they're that way as they turn for home. And now Starine picks it up. She moves into 3rd. Banks Hill has asked for more, run 4th. Islington is trying to find a way through from 5th. Dublino is cut loose, and on the far outside it's Golden Apples. Risk Averse is coming through down toward the inside. Gossamer in the thick of it. Starine takes the lead. Starine has overhauled Kazia. Banks Hill is there on the outside. Islington trying hard late. Gossamer looking for a way through. Golden Apples far outside, under the line, and Starine streaks under the wire to win it by 2. Defeating the defending champion Banks Hill by 2 lengths there. It was close for 3rd between Islington and Golden Apples. Early, and Starine had a pretty good spot. She was 4th most of the way around. They allowed Kazia and Chopinina an easy time of it in the early going. Those two had no excuses. Starine ran a great race here to defeat the defending champion Banks Hill, and it didn't appear that the course was much of a problem for her today. Starine owned and trained by one Robert Frankel and ridden by Johnny Velasquez here, who won an earlier race today with Storm Flag flying. The final time for the Philly and Mare turf here was 2:03 and 2. Johnny Velasquez, a star on the rise, and 2 victories on the Breeders' Cup.
And he got credit this year, so she got to ride in here for free. And here she is. She was known to like the soft turf. Bob Newmeyer picked her good. I hope he bet a bundle, because Starine just stalked that early pace and moved to them when she was ready. Look, John Velasquez never even turns his stick over. Easiest sort of win for Starine. Bobby Frankel's getting the hang of this Breeders' Cup.
Every Breeders' Cup race. Only Jerry Bailey's had that distinction before. He's a popular guy, and he showed why.
Definitely. Got a lot of followers this afternoon. Now here he is right here on Starine with the red cap. You can see him going to come on the outside here. Go to run down that pacemaker, Kazir, who set the pace but really folded when they came. And there's the grey. And look at that confident ride by John Velasquez. He's just sitting there. A little tap on the shoulder. The horse explodes right here. He puts them away. Some of them are going to come running on the outside. Banks Hill chases her. Golden Apples, Islington. But really, this race was won at the 8th pole. John Velasquez really just had a pointer in the right direction, and she just took off. This is a powerful, powerful run.
And Banks Hill kicked in for 2nd. Again, I didn't think she loved the off-going.
Did last time.
All right, let's take a look at the official order of finish. Philly and Mare turf. The winner is Starine, owned and trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden by John Velasquez, who wins the race. Islington, the European filly, 3rd. Golden Apples had to come way out of it, settled only for 4th money. Zenda Turtlebow. Dublino didn't fire today, but the winner with happy Bobby Frankel and friends is Mike Battaglia.
The favourite was the last in, Islington. And Tiger Tail rearing in stall 1. Frankie Dettori was screaming at the starter, but she jumped out on level terms with the others. Chorist was away well in the red jacket. Out very wide is the Irish filly Long Press up the inside. The black with the white cap is ZZ Top as they cover the first furlong here. And Chorist is the leader, not really setting them alight though. A possibly unwilling leader, reluctant pace setter, and Long Press now moves up on her outside to head them off. And it's Long Press that injects some pace into the contest now from Chorist in 2nd, ZZ Top and Summitville, who's keen enough wide of Islington. Then 2 or 3 lengths to Tiger Tail, and Casual Look and Ocean Silk is last as they race past the 9-pole. Ocean Silk being about 8 lengths off the leader. Long Press leads the way, not as far ahead as she was in the Irish Oaks last time. Chorist is 2nd. ZZ Top is now off the fence in 3rd. Islington getting a nice run through in 4th place behind her stable companion. Summitville wide, then the nose bandit Casual Look follows these. Tiger Tail on the fence, and finally Ocean Silk. running past the 7 and on towards the 6 as they swing left-handed. And it's Long Cress in front here under Mick Cannan, leads by a length to Correst in second place. And then the 2 stout fillies, ZZ Top wide of Islington, last year's winner. Tiger Tail is next up the inside of Summitville. Casual Look, the Oaks Heroine, is one from last. And lastly, Ocean Silk. About to turn for home then, and Long Cress is winding it up from Correst in second place. In third is Islington, going nicely. Followed next out wider by ZZ Top as they run to the final half mile now down the straight. Summitville has been wide all the way. Followed back in the pack by Tiger Tail. Casual Look work to do. ZZ Top struggling now, and Ocean Silk at the rear. Long Crest trying to stretch them out. Correst is second, but here looking large on the outside is Islington with every chance. They're followed by Summitville and the French filly Tiger Tail, and Ocean Silk begins to burn down the outside, but Islington comes to take over. She comes swooping into the lead ahead of Correst. Ocean Silk with a head bowed, determined style is out wide, but Islington has got first run. Is Islington by 3 lengths to Ocean Silk as they run towards the final furlong. The favourites in front. Kieran Fallon picks up his whip now. Chasing all the way is Ocean Silk, and she won't give in second place. Summitville is third. It's getting quite urgent now for the leader Islington as Ocean Silk continues to gather her back, but Islington's going to hold on and win her second Yorkshire Oaks. Islington beats Ocean Silk. In third, Summitville. Closer fourth between Tiger Tail and Long Crest. Then ZZ Top. Back to Casual Look behind those, and Correst, probably a non-stayer, finished a long way back. Looked a little bit below her best. Today she's travelled well all the way in the hands of Kieran Fallon. Got sweaty before the race, but saw it out much better. But a good run from the runner-up, lads, Ocean Silk.
Yeah, she's run a smashing race, came from off the pace, didn't look as though she was in a going mood for a while. But this was a carbon copy of the first race with Akshar. Just got this filly settled into a nice position. She just took a bit of a tug for a while, but let her find her feet, let Long Cress and Correst lead her into the straight, just began to wind her up slowly. And from here on in, there was just one brief moment you thought Ocean Silk might peg her back, but Kieran's strength just held her up together.
Absolutely, and full marks to all the stout camp, because they clearly thought about things. She wasn't happy in a cross noseband. They've presumably tried her at home in just an ordinary snaffle. As John said, she had a neck strap on. She relaxed enough to have something left at the end of the race, because if she pulled hard, she wouldn't have done. A great effort by the second filly. John Gosden will be delighted with her, and Summitville runs on for third.
Islington touched even money some 1 or 2 offices this morning on the course from 5 to 4 on, back down to 7 to 4 on, but came back late. Antics at the start, and the way she was sweating up, returned 11 to 8 on favourite Islington. Beats Ocean Silk at 18 to 1, 1-8, 18 to 1 Ocean Silk, with Summitville third at a pony 25 to 1, and Islington completes 130 double for Kieran Fallon and Sir Michael Stout after Akshar in the first. She's the 6th favourite in 12 runnings to win the Yorkshire Oaks Open to older fillies, the 3rd to go in the odds on after Ramruna in 99 and User Friendly in 92. Sir Michael Stout also wins it for the 4th time after Islington last year, Patrishka in 2000 and Pure Grain in 95.
Ready for the start of the filly and Mare turf, and they're off. Ian Nicole breaking alertly from her outside post down toward the inside. Tate's Creek is there. Islington gets a forward position, so too does Long Crest, Dimitrova and Risk-Averse. Off the hill, over the dirt, back to the main track. Bien Nicole seizes the initiative from the outside. Bien Nicole out to take the lead. Long Crest, Musical Chimes, very eager today. Musical Chimes up uncharacteristically close, and she is ranked. Now shuffled back in the 3rd position. Then it's Risk-Averse moving sweetly well forth. Islington down toward the inside. She's trying to come off the inside now. Then farther back in the field, right there together, Dimitrova in the clear on the outside. She's running in 6th position. Followed down toward the hedge by Tate's Creek. And in between those two, Metza Soprano, Voodoo Dancers in a bit of traffic here yesterday, followed by Heat Haze is second to last, and 6 lengths back to Megahertz. Bien Nicole throws down the gauntlet, opens up 5 on them. The opening half mile in 46 3/5 seconds. Bien Nicole opens up 7 on the field into the backstretch run. Long Crest runs along in 2nd, and Risk-Averse still on hold while running along in 3rd. Musical Chimes is racing 4th, 10 lengths from Bien Nicole. And then on the outside, it's Dimitrova. In between horses, Islington running in 6th position. And then down to her inside. Takes Creek now moving up a couple spots with a good move there. Then yesterday, down toward the inside in a tough spot, about 12 lengths from the lead. Voodoo Dancer launching a bid, followed by Heat Higgs and Megahertz. They are still chasing Bien Nicole, and they're coming at her, and they're coming at her quickly. Here comes Lon Cress, who's charging hard. Risk averse is right there. Mezza Soprano. Islington in behind the leaders and looking for a way off for running room, and Islington has got running room, but now does she have the run? It's Lon Cress in front. Islington storming down the track. Here comes Yesterday, slicing through between horses. Islington under a rousing ride here by Karen Fallon. Islington with a short lead coming down to the line. Lon Cress will be second best. Islington wins. No trouble at all. Won by an act. And it was Lon Cress finishing second. It was a photo for third there between late running Heat Hayes and Yesterday. No trouble at all in terms of her trip this afternoon, but she did have a little trouble putting away a very stubborn foe in Lon Cress. But Islington gets the victory this afternoon in the 5th Philly and Mare Turf.
さあ引かれました。スタートしました。ほぼ揃いました。まずスタンド前、先行争いは内からタップダンスシティが行きます。タップダンスシティ、そしてザッツ・ザ・プレンティ早め2番手、あとはアクティブバイオ、さらにはアンジュ・ガブリエル、内には4番フィールズ・オブ・マター、そしてイズリントンが前から6番手のところ、アナマリー、シンボリクリスエスは中段グループ、その外にジョーハーがぴったりつけています。あとサラファン、さらにはデノンが追走、1コーナーを迎えます。そして外を回ってサンライズ・ペガサス、あるいはネオユニバース後方におります。内に入ってスルーバレー、後方から4番手にはタイガーテイル、桜プレジデントがいて、あとは後ろから2頭目ダービーレグの最後方鶴丸ボーイとなりまして、各馬1コーナーをカーブしていきました。先頭は1番タップダンスシティ、堂々と先頭でリードを4馬身から5馬身、2番手にはザッツ・ザ・プレンティで2コーナーをカーブして向こう上面へ、あとは3馬身差アクティブバイオ3番手、そして4番手には4番フィールズ・オブ・マターがつけております。さらにはアンジュ・ガブリエル、そしてイズリントン、外はジョハー、そして中段グループ固まってスルーバレー、シンボリクリスエスは中段の前、サラファンがマークしています。そのうちには6番のアナマリーが追走して3コーナーへ向かいます。あと中段に2番のデノンが追走しております。さらにはネオユニバースは中段のやや後ろ2馬身下がりまして、サンライズペガサス、さらにはタイガーテイル、後ろから3番手には鶴丸ボーイ、桜プレジデント貯めています。最後方はダービーレグノ、各馬これから第3コーナーを向かいますが、先頭はタップダンスチー、リードを広げた、リードを10馬身で残り 1000m を通過。2番手には10番のザッツ・ザ・プレンティがつけて、あとは3番手にはアクティブバイオ、そして7枠の2頭外を回ってイズリントンが今4番手に上がります。スルーバレーがいて、あと押している4番フィールズ・オブ・マター、3、4コーナー中間です。そして外を回りましてアンジュ・ガブリエル、その外にはシンボリクリスエス、まだ中段に控えております。さあ第4コーナーをこれから向かいます。逃げているタップダンスシティ、リードがなくなってきた5馬身ほど 600m を通過。第4コーナーをカーブしていよいよ直線コースに向かってまいります。タップダンスシティ先頭です。リードが4馬身から5馬身、ザッツ・ザ・プレンティが2番手、そして3番手には追い込んでくる、これが11番アクティブバイオ、坂を上がってくる、あとはどうか、追い込んできた2番のデノン、そしてシンボリクリスエスはまだ中段グループ、先頭は逃げるタップダンスシティ、リードが3馬身から4馬身、デノンが追い込んでくる、あるいはネオユニバース、ザッツ・ザ・プレンティ、さらには懸命に追い込んでくるシンボリクリスエス、ちょっと伸びがないぞ、200m を通過した。先頭はタップダンスシティ、そしてザッツ・ザ・プレンティが2番手か、ネオユニバース内から3番手、そしてようやく追い込んできたシンボリクリスエス、しかし逃げ切ったタップダンスシティゴールイン。タップダンスシティ広い府中を一人旅、タップダンスシティです。